Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is FUBO LAZR Investing. Today is February 8th, 2021. It is 5:23 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I did have some requests today about 21 tickers. That is also including our VIX and major indexes. So let's go ahead and look at VIX. VIX here, to me, it seems like it wants to find a bottom around 20s. It will have more down days. All the moving day averages on VIX daily, MACD, stochastics, and RSI looks bearish at this moment. And I would say that we'll have to watch the 20 level, 2005, 2010. So around there, we'll see how it holds. If it holds this rounding bottom, if not, we'll see SPY melting up all the way to 402 to 412 area, which would make sense that if VIX can go down all the way to 15. But for now, VIX does look bearish. I don't know if it's gonna bounce from this bottom, so I don't know if this is the bottom, but for now, $20, it needs to test $20. That's what I can conclude with VIX. There was a request for UVXY, so we're just gonna go ahead and take a look at it, which is basically the same thing as VIX, but a lot of people play this with calls and puts and so forth. This again, the MACD, RSI, stochastics not ready yet, definitely. I can say that. As you can see, the MACD just went into a bearish crossover. Moving day averages are well above the price. Seems like there's a pattern on the 100-day moving average. That would be your target. If that were to happen, that would be around 14 bucks. Or the cloud bottom seems like a good rejection point, which would be around, 1139, 1150, around there. For now, I think VIX had a support at $10 range for the past couple weeks or the last month or so, but it seems like it is under $10, so that's the thing to watch out. I wouldn't go in UVXY or VIX or any other bearish trusts at this point. Sure, you can get a rejection, sure, you can get a spike up, but I don't know if it's ready yet. So let's go ahead and take a look at SPY. We have to zoom in. So today, I was looking on my app on the daily chart. It had like a very low wick all the way down to 374. I don't know if that was a glitch on the app itself, but we'll take a look at the minute chart to see if it happens on toss or not. This upper trend that we had before basically hit that. It went right over the 161.8 Fibonacci. Actually, that surprised me because if you look at the 5-minute chart, let's take a look. It has been a resistance and it's been coiling up and down on the 5-minute chart, and then all of a sudden it just, at the end of the day, we see pretty good buying volume as well. Even on the 5-minute, everything looks bullish right now. Let's take a look at the hourly. Hourly was a good V-shaped recovery from the last correction from last, I don't know, week of Friday, last Friday, I think. I don't know when that was. 2 weeks ago Friday. And if you do think that if you want to play this motion, and if you think that, yeah, we're kind of, and it might take a couple days, it might just take a couple days and maybe move up $1 or $2. It might eventually come and retest this 50 and 61.8, this trend line that we were talking about, which is around 375, 376. That's why I was kind of like, iffy on that weekly. Was just like a quick drop all the way down to 374. I don't know what that was about. Let's take a look at the minute candles. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that in the, I don't know if this is showing after hours. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's not showing the after hours, so let's take a look on the minute chart, and I want to see if that glitch happened here. No, I don't see that in the minute chart after hours. So, well, yeah, that's maybe a glitch on the TD Ameritrade, but it is an interesting thing to look at. Let me see if I got the... Yeah, I am showing the extended hours on the equities, so maybe futures are there as well. So yeah, if you call this a top, then I'd call this a bottom around 374. If SPY was to move up and hit a major resistance, I think that it's 402, which I mentioned on my Twitter. Also like to mention this, that if you are requesting from YouTube comments, I did make sure to do this, that I'm posting daily tweets asking for requests under that thread. So you want to make sure that you follow the Twitter account and put your requests through there. I will put my Twitter handle on the today's description, video description, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. I also put the time bookmarks on the description. So if you're watching from Twitter or stock tweets, just click on the YouTube link. That way you can fast forward and click on the tickers that you're interested in, and it'll jump you through those. Okay. So having said that, we'll go ahead and take a look at QQQ really quick. I think it was lagging behind SPY and Russell. So this is going to be interesting. Okay. So if QQQ is following behind and it's lagging, that will actually be very beneficial to us. Then we can like predict that, okay, if it behaves like Russell and SPY, then we're probably going to hit this upper boundary, which is about 341, 340. So I'm expecting technology sector to move up a bit towards 340s. So it's kind of lagging. What I did notice today is that the energy stocks, oil stocks, airlines, cruises, biotech had a tremendous upside, and where the big caps, big cap stocks, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Microsoft, and all those names are lagging a little bit. They're stalling. Not sure if people are moving into Russell and small and mid cap stocks. Okay, so talking about them, let's go ahead and see Russell. Wow, Russell just blew past, just like SPY, its 161.8 extension. So as we mentioned before when we were talking about QQQQ, even this upper trend, right? It passed. But just the extension itself, the high and the low that we did on the SPY and the rest of the major indexes like QQQ and IWM, Russell just hit over 161.8 extension, just like SPY, and QQQ was basically just getting over the 100% fib extension from that last correction. So this shows you how much the QQQ is lagging behind. Russell, I think it needs a rest, and if it comes down to 223, I think that would be a good buying opportunity. But for now, I think it's just overextended, but the buying has been going on since the last correction. So if it does move, we'll definitely see 239s. So I think that the small caps, the mid caps, they're gonna just keep on moving. So if you draw the trend from here, it seems like we hit the trend, right? We basically hit the trend. So I think this will be a better indicator. I don't think this would be correct because SPY we're drawing a little bit way back from here. So I think this is a good indicator. So if Russell pulls back, again, we mentioned this on SPY's chart, so they look very, very similar. I would say that if this cloud top right here, so 212, if we see a correction this week, I would not be surprised Russell coming back to 212. So that means that if VIX is around 20, right? So VIX gets a support on 20. So tomorrow we might extend a little bit more. And if VIX recovers from the 20 and just goes up and hits, some of the points that we mentioned, the UVXY, if like UVXY goes to like 11 or 14, I believe that then SPY and Russell will make this correction towards the 61.8 and 50 fib line, which is sitting around 212.99, 212. So that would make sense. So I don't like to play when the upper channels when the price is hitting the upper channel area. Even if it extends, it'll always come back and pull because it'll be a false breakout most of the time. and just retest the bottom of the channel, or maybe even like right here. So then that would be a true double bottom, and that would indicate that market is probably not going to top and it's going to run to a bullish couple months bullish run. But in this case, if we break down these fibs and the channel, it'll probably go even further down to either even cloud top or even cloud bottom around 182s. I don't think that will happen with, you know, how much liquidity is in the market, but we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Apple. Apple seems like it's hovering over and it's not able to break the major previous all-time before the pre or after the pre-split, which is around 137, 138 range. It does seem like it's stalling. MACD has negative the red bars. To me, I just can't tell where Apple is going at this moment. Like it's just stalling. It's not able to break the 9-day moving average, but then it's not going too much down. Every day it's like negative 0.64 and then it finishes the day flat. Um, I don't like this rounding top. That's what I could tell you. I want to see if this 100-day moving average on the daily or the 20-day moving, 20-day moving average on the daily can support. If not, I want to see this downtrend channel to support. Else, if everything goes negative, we're going down to the cloud top where I will be buying calls. I'm not saying it's going to get there, but for me to get into Apple, I need to see direction, and I'm not seeing that. I am seeing the rounding top. I am seeing this, cup and handle, but the handle is not moving up, so I can say, okay, it's a cup and handle type of scenario, whereas it's like, okay, it did a cup breakout, came back, and then it was curling from the bottom, and then I'm like, okay, it might be like a huge cup and handle and then just run up, but the handle is reversing towards down, and I'm not able to, call anything off of this. So I'm just going to stick around and see if the supports hold. If not, I'll be looking for a major, cloud top support, something like this, and then we'll see what goes on. And if on the call side, like if you see, a support, I'd give you, I'm going to give like a month or two. So I'm not going to buy like weekly calls, in which I never do. Almost all, all my calls are at least a month out. But anyhow, Apple is right now hovering over, trying to break this, 138, but it can't. It's a very psychological price point at this moment, and we'll see what goes on with Apple. I just need more days to observe. Okay, next up is Blink. This was also another request. This will be an easy observation because we have been charting this. We know what it is. I always watch it during the day. I can tell you what goes on. A very close friend of mine called me right when we were over this 61.8 extension, and he was excited. I said, don't get excited. If I were you, I'd probably sell it. And guess what? Bam. It reversed and finished the day at $52. It couldn't even hold the 50-day 50% Fibonacci level. Good point is that it's still above the 9-day moving average. The 20-day moving average is very supportive. So if you see Blink around 533 or a little bit below even that, that would be a good way to play this. I will be watching this name. Let's take a look at the hourly. I am always watching this name at all times. But it's just that in order for me to be bullish, it's good. I mean, it looks good. On the cloud top, it's been a support. Let's take a look and draw another extension. So our previous extension is from this bottom, this top, and this bottom. But for the shorter term side, I can say that the stochastics is reversing up. RSI needs more momentum. MACD needs to curl. So give it 1 or 2 more days. I think this is going to get to $65. Let's go ahead and confirm that with the extension. Now, I'm not drawing the extension to confirm what I said. I'm just drawing the extension to see what I said is good. Yeah, so I'd look for the range of, so let's just change this box so that it's more accurate because I just changed my target. So we're looking anywhere from $63.77 to $65 on the next move to the upside, okay? I'd do that. Or if you take this extension even lower to the cloud top, which would be more accurate. I think we're going to 65. So regardless, if you do the extension from this low, this top, and this low, the cloud top, it's showing me like 65.40. Regardless, if you do the extension from this low, this high, and this low, it's still showing me 65.04. So I'm looking for $65 on this name. It is volatile during the day. It could move up and down sharply. I don't know if it's due to the fact that it has so many shorts and the float of shares is like, less. So I don't know if that's the case or profit taking, but I see a pretty good distinctive support on the hourly chart since last Thursday. The cloud top has been acting. So if this pulls down tomorrow at 51.56, I think it's a good buying point to play that $65 range. Next up is CCIV. Now this had a pretty good run up. And where did it go? And again, it's not us, it's the stock moving technical. So I'm not doing anything magical here. Anybody who has no clue about charting and just can connect a couple dots here and there can guess where the stock is going. Now I could see a cup and handle here if the 50-day moving average on the hourly acts as a support, or even the cloud top right here and curls up, then we'll see a huge, and you could say that this right here is a flag. Now give this stock some time, guys. It had, an extraordinary run. So I'm not a fan of catching things while it, like, hit the 161.8 extension 1, 2, 3, 4 couple times, like even on the 4-hour chart, right? So many times. Now, is it flagging? Yes. Is it doing a cup and handle? Yes. But let the internals relax. Give yourself a time. I would say this would be a very, very good opportunity to buy at $29 if it gets there. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it'll get there, but you could even count this as a huge cup and handle and flagging for the next upside. I believe that 20-day moving average, just watch out for that for a support because it's been acting like that on this candle at least. And the 9-day moving average has been a support since last, 2 weeks ago, Friday. However, it has lost that 9-day moving average support. Just wait for the 20-day to act as a support, or at max like around this cloud top level. I'm not saying the stock is bad. I'm not saying that stock is losing its momentum. I'm just saying that if you're not in the stock, I'd wait for some type of bounce opportunity, right? Especially when we hit that 161.8 million times. And then it's a SPAC play, and it's also you have to consider that there's a risk to not getting the merge. I'm not speculating that it will not. I'm just saying that there's a chance, there's always a 50-50 chance of not being able to complete the merge. So always watch out for that. If it bounces from 30-30, so 30-30 is a good number to remember because it's the bottom of this candle and the bottom of this channel right here. It can move up towards the $41 area. Just wait for that opportunity. If you're in the game, if you're in the stock, I don't see any sell pressure. I don't see any negativity on this stock. I'd hold it until $46. That would be my target. If you want a fresh new extension, I can draw that from this low to this top, which is the 161, and this low right here. Let's go with this extension because I don't like to use the old extensions where like I can't even remember why I drew it in the first place. I believe that, let's just do this more correctly. What is the low on this 1849? There you go. I think this was pretty accurate. What is the low on this one? 2613. Oh well, 14 is good enough. And then this top right here is 3518. That's good enough. So we're looking at we're looking at 3447 and 3643 as resistance. If you're super bullish in the name, $53 will be my target after the merge or when the merge is declared. Okay. I'm not speculating, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that on the technicality of things, if this pulls back to 30, and it could go up to 53, you're looking at close to 50% move. So 53 minus, if I said if this pulls back to like, 30.53, or let's just say 30.30, right? Just a, good number to remember. So you're looking at actually what 50%? You're looking at a 74.9, 75% move. So you do your own risk and analysis of putting your money in around 30, and if it does hit, now there's a huge, resistance going to be at 42.80, but if your ultimate target is 53, you're looking at 75% move. So just to take that in consideration. But again, everything can go down south if the merger doesn't happen. Now, the next stock is CWH. When I see these names, I kind of get nervous, not because of the name, it's because of the ticker symbol, because they could easily mean to say Chewy, CW, I don't know if CW, no, Chewy would be CHWY. So I'm hoping that I'm, covering the right stock. That was my worry, but just be careful, guys, when you're requesting names, just be careful that you're requesting the right name. Then I don't want to like misguide people. So this looks like a cup, and if it goes down and forms a handle, it would be a nice play. I think overall the chart looks bullish. It was going for a long flag. This is the daily, so this is a breakout, obviously. So if you get this top, okay, this is a big flag, okay, broke out of this flag, and if you're a long-term holder, the earnings has been looking good. It has a dividend. I don't see anything wrong with the stock. I just don't know your investment idea on this, like looking for a swing play or looking for a long-term play. If you are doing a swing play on this one, I believe that this move could go extend. There's a 42.24, the 42.24 will be your first resistance. If it blows on top of, if it blows off and breaks out, 46.88 would be your next level. So so what I did is just for you guys to learn, the low after, March or during March, I connected the top, which I considered this as a flagpole, and then I connected to the bottom of the flag, or the lowest point of the flag, and did an extension. Now, Puppy Trades does this thing, which I always been talking about him. He's a great guy. I encourage you guys to watch his videos as well. Has some interesting calls. So what he does is he goes and takes the flags, the pole of the flag um, height, and what he does is he usually, and it won't let me because I have to now do this. And if it does meet with a, yeah, so you see this, I would say my target would be $61 on this, due to the fact that a lot of mathematical equations do match up with it. Okay, so I'll tell you a couple of reasons. Now, this is why, like, regardless if you're watching me, Puppy Trades, or some other trader, only thing we're doing here is doing, so he's doing his type of, like, the way that he's been successful, and, doing off of his things. And mine, the way I do it is the way that I see it. But usually, since everything is systematically mathematical, they end up being in the same place. So he goes for a longer term target with the flagpole, gets the lowest point of the flag, if I remember correctly, or he goes for the base of the flag. So I'm not sure if he does this because of the time. But if you take the lowest point of the flag, I can't recall what he does, but this does meet up the 61.9. So you're looking at $62. So please excuse me if I got his strategy wrong, because I've seen it like in one of his videos. I can't recall it when or how he did it. But if this is the way that he did it, then it's also matching up coincidentally with the 100% Fibonacci level. It seems like a good company. I have to do some due diligence, but the chart looks super bullish. You could go with it. Just broke out of a long flag. It's above the cloud. If it retests back, don't worry. If it retests $34, $35 range, which is where the 20-day moving average is, it's okay. I think in the long term, this stock is a slow moving stock. You just have to play this long, hold on this one. Okay. Again, I don't know what your strategy is, so all I can give you is price targets, and you can go ahead and adjust your time. I'm not giving you time on my price targets. Okay. Now let's jump to Disney. I remember doing Disney last couple of videos, maybe 2 videos ago. I said that the chart looks super bullish because of the MACD crossing, stochastics crossing, RSI picking up. This right here, so just take a look at this picture. This on top of this, on top of this, is called your internals are super bullish. Okay. And I wasn't surprised on the Disney move, and on the daily you get a bullish crossover on the moving day averages on the daily chart, where your 9-day is crossing above the 20 and all the moving day averages are just moving up. This is definitely a bullish move. Now let's go ahead and draw an extension and just figure out where things can head up. Again, it has earnings, so that's always a sign to watch. And this is like a stock that you should not be afraid to lose, because it's just going to be a long-term hold anyways. Like if Disney drops, you hold it for another 2-3 years. Um, Again, like I'm not telling you to go ahead and, if you had invested your entire portfolio, then you're going to be bored to death not playing if you're a trader for a whole couple years. But I remember holding Disney for like, it was like $98. I don't know if it's split or not, but this was like many years ago. I held it like on $80, $90 range, and that thing didn't move for 2-3 years until, and I think where Steve Jobs, I think his death. I don't know what it was, but his stake. I don't know his wife. I think it was one of the earnings that his wife gained a lot because he had like Disney shares off of the Pixar. I remember that. Then it just kept moving with the Disney TV, Disney Plus, and all that, right? So if we look at this extension, it can move to 193.59 before the earnings, and then maybe after earnings 201. But this is the thing, right? We've been seeing this action during the earnings that even for Intel, it moved up 8%. The next day it came back down 8%. So I'm just saying this, if it moves to 201, it could well come back down to, 173 for whatever odd reason. My ultimate target would be 226, and you're here, just buying and holding for your, 401k or your kids, college fund portfolios or whatever. I'd go for the target of 268, 267, 268 area, not giving any time until, the fibs just, you know, fibs work out. Just like Blink that I warned my friend today. I said we hit the 61.8, we crossed above it. That's a good place to sell and let it come back. Just taking notes here, take a screenshot. I encourage everybody to watch the YouTube channel on YouTube itself rather than watching it on, if I did mention before, I don't know, but rather than watching it on Twitter and stock tweets, because then you won't be able to, hit the shortcuts and jumping back and forth between the stocks where I leave the bookmarks. So hit that description button and make sure you can fast forward or jump through the tickers. Okay. So that's Disney for you. Pretty much all the internals are bullish. All the moving day averages are bullish. This is a bullish sign for this stock. And only thing that I'm worried about, that if the technicals don't work, is because of the earnings. Now, this tells me directly that the earnings, it's going to hit 201. I don't know what will happen after that. I don't know if it's going to see 173 or go around to 226. So that's your call. Okay. Next stock that was requested was EH. So EH seems like it's been on a humongous extension. It's a parabolic run from, $9 or whatever to $99. If you're invested in the stock for whatever reason, I don't know. That's a, you know, I take the $100, $10 to $100, 10 bagger. MACD looks bearish, stochastic looks bearish, RSI is, going down from the oversold territory. I can say that this stock can have a bounce from the 20-day moving average, a quick bounce, but then the moving day average is turning also bearish. So you're probably going to see something like this. A quick reaction. So what would that quick reaction will be if you're a swing trader? let's take a look. What you're going to do is if you just hit the top and all the way to the bottom. Okay. So it already crossed 61, came back down, which is technical, okay, which is what we expected it would do. Now, from this top, let's see if it bounces from the 20-day moving average, you're looking at $80 bounce. So if it goes down to 66, it could go up to $80. I don't know how this stock moves. I don't know how it reacts, what the news are. If you're thinking that this stock is still bullish and the stock is just growing and like it's only the beginning of the run, I can tell you where the price point is because see this is what I have to do. I don't know the stock. I don't want to give a comment. I don't even know what sector it's in. So only thing I can do is just look at the chart and tell you where it could potentially go from what little knowledge I have. Okay. And I don't know if I pointed the exact bottom, so I could be, $1 or $2 off, but these would be my targets. So your first target, I'm looking at 82 to 85. Second target is 94. And that 161.8 extension is sitting at $110. If you think this stock is super, super bullish, you could look at the next extension, which is 135. Now, again, you could draw another extension to figure out long-term targets. This looks like a bull flag broke out, came back for a double dip, and it could well go to 135. I just don't know the stock to say enough, and I don't want to like misguide people thinking like that the technicals will work without knowing the company or even the sector itself. I don't even know what sector it's in. Okay, so let's go ahead and fix up these boxes on the extensions that we just drew. I always like to do that. The boxes I draw are not totally random. I just do two major extensions and then connect the boxes. So that way, when you're in the bottom of the box, you know that that's a resistance, and the top of the box is a resistance for completely technical reasons. They're not just completely, randomized boxes. Okay. So there you go. These are your charts way above top. So if this is a flag and it's just consolidating for the next move, the stock can move all the way up to $188. But this is the thing. I don't know what sector this company is in. I don't know what financials are in. I don't even know if it's a Chinese, name. It's an ADR, so EHang, it tells me it's Asian. So you got to watch out for that. Does the company keep proper accounting? Does it have a chance of getting delisted? All these things, right? So I can't tell you um, anything without knowing the company enough. Yeah. This is just technical. I'd go for just a swing trade from 66 to 82. That would be good enough for me. But if you're a long-term investor, then you do your own due diligence and then investigate the stock, take your risk analysis, and move on. On the shorter side of things, all the internals are bearish, so I don't see the stock going to 188 all of a sudden. It could move very, very well down a 50-day moving average to 39, and eventually in the long run, I do see the consolidation is in the lower volume levels, but again, this is a name that I don't know. All I could do for you is just give you the price levels. Okay. All right. Next up is Facebook. So Facebook, on the other hand, is stalling like many others, like Nvidia, Netflix had its run, Amazon, and so forth. I don't see any signs. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't see any signs in Facebook, just like Apple. I don't see any signs of bullish or bearish because it's stuck in this range. So let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly, and the chart looks really busy, so you're going to get confused by my drawings. Um, Sorry about this because when things are this complicated, you want to, do a lot of drawings. So I don't know where this is coming from. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and delete that. I see the support is $26, I'm sorry, 264.5, 266, 265. Just say that. It's on the daily. It's just trying to get hold of this cloud and move up. If you were to draw an extension and you want to see bullish numbers, I can do that, but that doesn't mean anything because all I'm saying is I can't make anything off of this stock. It could move to 276 to 281. However, after such great earnings, I don't know what it was that got the hate of the Wall Street. I don't know what was up with it. Maybe the privacy issues. Maybe it's fight with Apple that people don't see. You know, the privacy with Apple. Apple might get them, and this is also a competition type of thing. You know, like I was pretty bullish on Facebook. Then this could go to 323 all of a sudden with one news. It's just that Facebook is in no man's land right now due to its privacy issues with Apple and it's fighting with Apple. Right now, if you're a long holder, I'd wait. You know, I think the number is 323. If you're a swing trader from here, 276 to 281. If you're bearish, this could go back to double bottom all the way down to 245. For me, if you ask me, I have no opinion because it looked like it had a pennant and it lost the pennant, which is not good. Um, you see this red line that we drew and this red line right here, it was a pennant and it lost it, and it seems like it's having a hard time you know, going over the 50-day moving average or even the 20-day moving average. So right now I am waiting for Facebook. I am neutral. Okay. Now, next up is FUBO. This stock is going to kill me because I'm really impatient and the market just beats impatient people. A lot of people are freaked out about downfalls and like the swings, the daily swings. It can go up and down like $2 within a matter of like 10 minutes, and people are impatient. By the way, this is a bullish chart. There's a huge, you know, triangle pennant. I see this could come down. I have the stock actually on my Journey account portfolio. This is the only stock I have. I am 100% invested in it, plus 100% margin. So don't, you know, copy me or anything. That, you know, Journey account is purely open for YouTube, just to see if I can get like, you know, 15,000 to 100,000. Now, if this does hit, by the way, if this does hit $100, I do have like what, 1,020 shares. So I could, you know, well, with margin though, I probably get to 75K, but that would be like 15K to 75K though. That would be pretty cool. I'm not sure if I could wait till 100. That's another thing. My calculations is that this is going to hit $76 after earnings. Now, don't buy calls or anything because I said that. I'm just implying the pitchfork theory for the time. But I think that this is probably going to burn the bulls maybe till 44. It's probably going to touch 44, even come down to this downtrend of the. You see how like how many times it supported this pitchfork, the lower trend, and it could hit like $40 at the most bearish scenario here, or the 20-day moving average, which is sitting around 40.61, so around the same place. But I think that it's just going to bounce from the cloud top and get a huge, you know, run up. Just like Palantir, I got in at the wrong time and I waited, and then I sold for, you know, whatever. Yeah, but I did make money on the calls. I went back and made money on the calls, 700 on one of them and 200% on one of them. But it's like, you know, this is a patience game with 75% shorts. They might want to drag down the bears, just, you know, kill the stock till the earnings. But I believe that the earnings are going to be great, and we might see an action like this. You know, the earnings shoot up and then get sold over, get a 9-day moving average, and then go up. Now, the 9-day moving average we lost, which is kind of bad. It seemed like we broke over today after like 47. It went up to like 47.70 or 47.80 at one time, right? So what is today's high? 47.79. Yeah. So I'm watching the stock like 24/7, so I know all the prices of the low, high, the volumes, and everything else. The issue here is that every time it loses the 9-day moving average, it comes back very fast. So I wouldn't be surprised if it touches the cloud top, which is around 44, come back to beat the 9-day moving average, and we get a huge run like this. And don't forget that we were saying this is a huge cup and handle. And it is, the technicals will still play as long as this is within $40. But it's the fact is that, are you patient enough to wait that long and go through the pain? I think this stock will hit 76, 109, and eventually 162 top of the pitchfork. Now, I don't know when, I don't know what time, I don't know if you can hold that long. I don't know if you have the patience, and I don't know if you think that I'm, crazy to think that. But with 75% short, I know the MACD doesn't look good right now. It needs to reverse. Stochastics is still good. RSI is just going down. The technicalities on the daily might not seem so good. However, what I'm saying is, if you're a believer in the stock, and if you bought this stock because you believe in the company's future of, the gambling thing and so forth, I didn't buy it because of gambling, but I just bought it because of the technicals, of the earnings coming up. It's still above the cloud. That last run up, so we're probably going to see something like this from $10 to 62. We're probably going to see 40 to 162. But can you wait 3, 4 months, 5 months? I don't know. I don't think I can. I'll probably chicken out and sell everything at 76. I know myself. Um, and I've never held any name that long, and I could have been a millionaire by now if I did with the stocks that I picked. So that's FUBO. I'm still bullish. I don't think technically nothing is broken down until and unless we lose the cloud around 40 bucks. Okay. Next up is Luminar. The ticker is LAZR. Again, one of my friends have been talking and saying he wants to get in. He wants to get in. Now, this is a huge coiling. Okay. I do see a W here, and I didn't see the flag, which kind of disappointed me. So let me take a look. Let me take a picture and a screenshot to tell you this stock needs more time. I think it's going to hover over the cloud top and then eventually get to $45. This was one of my picks like long time ago. Um, and this is what I expected, okay? You see this W? I thought it was going to flag and run up. Instead, it got rejected just like NNDM today, broke above the 61.8 and then bam. I think it's just going to consolidate here and then move up, okay? I don't know if it's going to wait for the earnings. I don't know what it is, but either way, it's really coiling up, okay? And I think it's going to go up. That's my intention, and I'm always, I always have some psychology in my mind. Markets run up more than they go down, unless you look at, 2011, 12, or some, 2003, 2004 areas where you have like 1, 2 year market just, sidelining. But I do think that it's okay for me to say that 30.79 would be a good support, and then this cloud top would be a good support. If you have patience and just incrementally putting money in, um, technically it should go to 45.92. If you're super bullish, 56 would be my target. Palantir had this type of move where it hit the 61 and just came back. This was like 27.70 or 28.10, and then it came back down to 25.50s, 25s, and then bam, it went up to like, I think, yeah, it went well above its all-time high, and I think this is going to be the scenario where this is just going to coil up and just run and go to rip to 56.64. That is my theory. If the cloud bottom doesn't hold and this pennant doesn't hold, it could very well hit 20 bucks. Just know that risk, okay? Next up is LOTZ. Some names on Twitter that I follow is in this name and thinking that it will go up. And these are people that I respect with like a lot of followers. I don't know. Like, it is like waterfall, and it's like catching the falling knife. Huge volume sell-off. MACD hasn't done anything on the daily. Stochastics is about to merge. RSI is at oversold levels. If you're buying here, you're probably catching a falling knife, or just trying to catch the dip. I'm not a guy that catches the dip. I'm more of a trader that sees a rounding bottom and a break out of the cloud and moving averages, that's when I get in at $10 and then ride it up to $12. Um, that's my thinking, like you can try to catch it and it can go up. I don't want to say anything on this name. On the hourly, it's nowhere close to the cloud. On the 4 hours, when I say the cloud, this is Ichimoku cloud. And for long-term investment, when you break out of the cloud, that's a good sign for long-term. But this is nowhere near the cloud on any of the 1 hour, 4 hour, or the daily. On the daily, it's actually near. Okay. On the daily, let me take that back. Oh, I'm sorry, I clicked on 5 minutes. I was kind of surprised. On the daily, it's way below the cloud. Okay. So I don't even know, and the red cloud didn't even start yet. So I don't know what to say. I don't want to like um, give false hopes, or I mean, this could easily reverse and test the 9-day moving average, which is sitting at 1019. But I want to speak technical. I don't see any technicals in this chart for a reversal. Okay. Now, how far can it go down? I can just draw a Fibonacci retracement to maybe see if it did play with Fibonacci. Um, one thing for the holders that I can say is that it looks like the 161.8 Fibonacci, which is sitting at 864, you're getting pretty close. And how do I know this Fibonacci is for real? It's because you see this base, it held the resistance, and also the base right here, the support. It was pretty accurate. Now, I don't know if it's going to hold 864, but you can see some bounces from there. Um, would I be invested in this? I don't know. Like I said, my style of trading is different than other people's. So my style is rounding bottom, break off the cloud, break off the moving averages, where the MACD, stochastics, and RSI is showing me that it's good for a reversal. That's my playbook. I don't know, what other traders' playbooks are, but 864 seems reasonable bounce for me, if you ask me. Next up is OPGN. Uh, Looking at this chart, I mean, I see that this name basically has no volume until it just spikes and then dies down, spikes. I don't know if it will die down. I don't know, again, the medical stocks, I don't know if this is a medical stock. But when I see stocks like this, I stay away from commenting any technicals, maybe the 1 hour. But again, for me, I can't do technicals on this chart. I don't want to push it. I don't want to lie. I don't want to pump it. I don't want to look bearish or bullish. I don't want to look like anything that I don't know. So looking at the past history of the spikes, yes, this stock can spike, but it also comes down pretty hard. Um, to me, when I don't see volume, when I don't see past history, when I can't see like, too much cloud width, I can't say anything about the stock, so I'm just going to skip this one. I'm sorry if I'm no help with this one, but I'd rather be honest than lie about it, right? Next up is Peloton. Now, Peloton, stay home stock, and then Biden goes out. I'm kind of surprised that I'm not sure even if I read this right. He goes out saying schools should open safely. Now, when Trump said this, everybody criticized him. Now, I don't care if you like Trump or not. I don't care if you like Biden or not, but I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he's trying to get some South votes or some Republicans out there. I don't know, what is this, like a political move, or are we really ready? I just don't know. So this Peloton thing with that news might affect it, but the chart looks like it's in a verge of breakout, and you see how this cloud top support, it's pretty um, clear. It's very like clear millimetric support. I could come back down, come back down. Just watch this cloud if you're in the name. I know I mentioned that, these names would be my play if I had the cash or long term. So I would say this. I like the name. This is kind of different from stay home because a lot of see, if you ask me, I think my behavior changed and maybe my age is changing too. I'm not one of the guys, maybe it's not the age because I see like 40, 50-year-olds hitting the gym and like, looking like Hulk Hogan type of thing. It's never been my thing of like looking too muscular. As long as I'm healthy and, lean, then I'm fine. Cause I did think that way in high school, and I'm suffering the pains on my joints. I should have not lifted as much as my body should just lift as much as your body allows. And scientifically, you should not go ahead and bench like 300, 400 pounds just to prove yourself that you can. I like, doing activities that supports my body weight, like push-ups, pull-ups, um, you know, I don't know. This is turning into like but the stock is a health stock, so I do have to mention, if you're, one of my younger followers, you're 18, 17, and you have, testosterone rage in your body, please don't do things that I did, because I had a lot of injuries, and like I feel like a 90-year-old now. No offense to 90-year-olds, but I'm having like left and right arthritis pains, and it's just too painful, and I think that I should have never done that kind of weightlifting when my body wasn't even, developed. So that high school pressure, the football team pressure, you want to, bench more than the other guy type of thing. And it gets into every single high school boy. So I'm feeling the pain right now. However, Peloton is that thing. So I'm living that thing. I'm like, I rather exercise with my body weight. I rather do, I don't have to hit the gym. I don't have to go out there and bench press like 400 pounds. So what I do have to do is, be healthy, make sure my joints are stretching to an extension of exercising, not, looking like, Hulk or something. But that's why I would use Peloton. I don't want to go to the gym due to the fact that, all this coronavirus stuff happening, and my gym is near the military, so I don't know where people are coming on and off, like they could be coming from anywhere in the world and then hitting the gym. So I'd rather stay home, be safe, but at the same time, um, be healthy. Um, and that's why I think that Peloton, even though people do move on with the stay home thing, that Peloton would probably still work out, because there's lots of people that have their machines, and there are a lot of buyers, and then the subscriptions are going off the roof. So this tells you that, yeah, people could have easily went to gym. So it canceled my gym actually. And I do believe that this stock is going to head towards 178 and 200 eventually at this, eventually around 200. But I don't know how this, story of, airlines going up, you know, oil going up. So that indicates like, okay, are we ready? Like this whole stay home at home thing is, dying off. And then Biden going off and saying, I think we should open schools safely. That really cracked me up. Um, that's just hilarious that, he was criticizing Trump. I don't know if he was, but at least like his party was, for saying, I know that it was 2 months ago and now everything could have changed after the, um, you know, all the, Moderna news and Novavax news that we have vaccination and everything. But are we going to go ahead and vaccinate our kids with, you know, vaccinations that hasn't even been tested properly? I mean, no offense, but I'm not putting, um, you know, something in my child's body that I'm not even sure of yet. I don't even know if it's tested properly on how many people. I can go ahead and look up, but that still doesn't make me comfortable. So, that's the side of the story that Biden going off and saying, we should open schools safely, just cracked me up. Okay. Anyhow, it's kind of depressing to see that what we voted for and what we're getting already. But anyhow, I do think that this stock is a $200 stock. You just have to be patient and collectively buy it. All right, next up is, I keep saying this wrong, but it's QuantumScape, right? Yeah, I got it right this time. I did this earlier, maybe a week ago, maybe a couple, charts ago, videos ago. So it's not something that I'm, not new to. 50-day or the 20-day moving average, as you can see, the yellow line has been a pretty good resistance. 9-day moving average is still holding. It goes down, it's 37.98, so 38 area. It needs to break above this red line and the 50-day moving average. Then you can look at the stock going towards $72. Until then, it's just gonna hit this boundary. Let me go ahead and draw a box for you so you can get a visual. Until then, it's just gonna hover over this price range. Okay. It needs to break above the box, then it's gonna go ahead and test 50-day moving average, which is $60, and it's matching the bottom of the cloud. And then next up would be your target of $72. Okay. So that's all I could say on QuantumScape. Next up is Sundial. I think that's what it was called, SNDL. Had a huge run up today, and I think it looks like it's flagging. I don't have too much to say about this because it's just basically a momentum stock, and I obviously charted this with an extension, and I probably gave a price of $1.10. Now that it has been a support, which is good sign. I think this is going to 147, and it could very well go to 147 tomorrow. Let me go ahead and draw a chart here. And this is the issue with these stocks, right? I'll give a target, but the issue is just know that this is a momentum stock. They'll have their moments of going up, and then they'll have their long moments of just sitting around. So if you're swing trading this, it's okay. I think it's on the news, or it's on the momentum due to the marijuana bill or something. I don't know what's going on, but this is easily a W with a flag, which is super bullish, and I wouldn't be even surprised if this hits $2.06. Again, just to remind you, we're looking at, when I chart things, we're looking at a couple things. And no matter what the stock name is, I can't be biased, and I can't, just because it might be a penny stock, just because it might be a momentum stock for the marijuana play. So you see this W, you see this flag or the pennant. The breakout will be humongous. The fact that the MACD, stochastics, and the RSI is still strong, I believe that this momentum stock, has another room to run. It could be 100%, it could be a 50%. My technicals are saying that 147 and 206. I don't know what can go after that. Okay, that's your call. Again, things can turn south immediately with these stocks on a single news. So just saying that, and just watch out for that. You have to watch the name very carefully and be very quick. But again, if you ask me my price target, I like the W and the flag. I like the signs, internals, and I don't know, the move up hasn't been with such a volume like this one, right? So we'll see if the volume actually kicks in off the news, and this thing can hit 206. Next up is space. Obviously, I charted this before, so it's just going to be a quick analysis off of my previous chart and see how accurate we were or not accurate. I don't see any bearishness in the stock. I don't see anything but consolidation. I think the stock is just higher lows, which is a good sign. The MACD is still bullish. Stochastics, RSI, everything is good. It consolidated with a lower volume. Just looking at the hourly chart on this one, you can clearly see that it's building for the next leg up, and I think the next leg up will be very, very soon. Only resistance on this stock is the obvious 50% fib channel. You see how accurate we were. This fib channel has been a distinctive resistance. It needs to get above. Your next resistance is 59, and it's heading up to 66.57. Okay, you're super bullish on this, $78, and I think I'm just seeing a huge cup and handle on side of things. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So maybe on the hourly, of course, but again, when you see this kind of thing, and I've seen this in AMD, so you have a cup and a handle this long, it's going to shoot up pretty much really high. And the fact that this has so many shorts, it could happen. Okay, and it could happen waiting on a news, basically on its launch date or whatever. And if it passes, like if it's good news, it could hit 78 in no time. Okay. Next up is TWNK. Now I don't recall charting it. Now on the 1 hour it's on a, resistance, but let's take a look at the daily before I misjudge anything. Um Obviously it looks like a slow moving stock. I don't know what hostess brands are. I don't know what business it's in. Don't take me wrong. It doesn't mean that the company is bad. It's just that I am bad enough not to know. Um, if you ask me, I'd rather, like, if you're a long-term investor, seems like the earnings and everything is a solid company, but um, obviously a very slow-moving stock. And only thing I can say is that it's bullish on a long term, don't get me wrong, as long as this cloud top holds. I'd buy this one on the cloud top and I'll sell this on, let's take a look at the extension. At least I don't want to, you know, I want to respect the request and I want to give you at least some numbers. And the extension seems very accurate. So this means that the stock does move technical. I see a huge volume. So I think it's going to follow up. And let me make this a little more accurate than it already was, but okay. I see that you see this clear 61.8 support. So the support side is 1444. The resistance will be 1494 and 1573. If you're bullish on this name and you're looking for the next run, I can tell you now, just because it did, and just because I did confirm that 61.8 was this low, I can draw another extension. I can tell you that the run up will be towards the 1556 to 1583, and then you'll get the 1668. Now the 1668, don't worry about the box length. I just drew it to, you know, just to show you, warning sign. That's where because the width on this one is not accurate. The width on this one is obviously accurate. Now the most bullish scenario you're looking at is $18 on this name. But again, seeing the stock being very slow moving stock, I don't know when it will get there. So here are some channels. I believe the stock is just going to hit here, which is the upper trend. It's going to hit 1554. Let me zoom in to show you the scenario. So what's going to happen is this stock can move up, hit the 50% extension, hit the trend line, the upper trend line we drew, and can come back down to the lower channel and then go up and down and eventually get to 16 bucks. But again, it's going to be in a very slow pace. I'm looking at maybe the beginning of March when it comes up to 1559, unless we see a huge volume bar like this on some news. Okay, so that is TWNK, first time ticker for me. I hope I was accurate, and I hope that you get a second opinion on this as well, but that is my opinion. Just to summarize everything, let's go ahead and take a look at the futures first, see what's going on. It's flat. What I like to say is this: if you are worried about the market top, I wouldn't be right now. I believe that the market tops don't happen in one day. It happens in weeks. So don't worry getting caught. Just set your stop losses tight. I think the market can go up to 402. 192, 194 area was our first target of market top. I said if the market top, when we were at like where were we, like 360s, 370s, I don't know. I said the market will go up to 400, but 394, 392 numbers keep coming up. So that's a thing to watch out for. If we do fall down from here, it's not a correction. It's just a setback. It is totally normal. We've been moving up 1%, 1.5%, 2% every single day in indexes. That is not normal. Of course, that wasn't normal before. Now it's a normal thing. Just watch out, okay? You see how FUBO lost this cloud on the hourly? That's what I don't like, but I think it's going to test the 43 levels eventually. Don't get scared on that. Anyhow, my conclusion is that don't worry about picking the market top or calling the bottom. Just go with the flow. Pick, names that are liquidative. Pick names that you won't get caught, um, and pick names that are solid so that you don't like crash down hard. Use your margin wisely. Don't follow my, YouTube trading account because I'm using margin and I can risk because it's only a journey account. Also, last thing to note is that we've been going up on subscription on YouTube. Of course, it's free. YouTube subscriptions are free. We've been tremendously moving upwards. I appreciate it. That shows me that I'm on the right path. Our recent, videos have been watched over 800 times, which has been up over, at least 200% on our averages. So um, I appreciate that. Let's, hit the like button, keep the subscribe buttons, the notification bells. This just keeps me going in the game, motivating me to get you the videos, or else, I'm not doing this for the money or anything, just to educate people. And maybe if I can help people and help their family on paying a bill or something, and if you guys just pray for me, that's all I ask. And that's what I will always ask. Just keep me in your thoughts and prayers, and that's all it is. Okay, and the subscription button. See you tomorrow, guys.